Now, with Fat Joe, could you guys ever be cool again? Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you have a video out there a long time ago where he said he set you up in a club situation, something like that?
Shit, I got like 20 of those shits. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
told you, I was going in. I was going in for a good 19 years, man. A little less than that, like 16 years. But I'm saying, yeah, I was going in because I found out, what I needed to find out as far as like, how he was playing the situation. So he wasn't my man. He showed me who he was at one point. Said he already did like actions that led me to believe that it was no remorse. It was something that he was. I already seen him switch from being which I thought would be a friend to a guy who sold out for the money, and he was putting the plans you know in action already of how he felt about me. And like I said, I never said he ever cut me. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a situation with somebody acting on their own, but then he protected that guy after he acted on his own. Because it would have never got to that situation if Joe would have just, if I was his friend, all I asked him ever, even after I got cut, I was just like, "Yo, who did it?" And he refused to tell me. Instead, he sent me a paper from his lawyer trying to put a gag order on me and paying me money, and I ripped that paper up. So that was the main thing. That's when I knew right there that this guy, he's not my friend. You know what I'm saying? He's not even a hood nigga to me anymore. He's using your lawyer to protect yourself, and it's like you should know. He changed already. So once I seen that, and I seen that paper from his lawyer, and they wanted me to sign that dotted line for me to put a gag order on an actual situation that happened at Jimmy's. That's when I was like, let me go out because at the end of the day, I know this nigga gonna blackball me. So that's when I came out dissing him on a record. You know what I'm saying, on actual songs, and that was it. After that, he spent the next 15 years trying to or using his power to get out there and really not talking or saying my name anymore. So his whole shit was to really not bring me up, uh, discredit me for everything I've done, try to erase me from history. So I spent the next 16 years trying to do what I did. But yeah, I had some anger in me, and I was making songs about that situation, about making songs about certain things, that certain situations that me after the fact, like we got into. He was trying to, acting like they never happened. The situations I was saying, so it turned into that kind of warfare.
Now, with Big Pun, that whole situation with his family, what's your take on that? Because what we hear, people that's listening that from Big Pun's wife or whatever, that Fat Joe didn't pay her just due. How's that whole situation? If you care to speak on that one for the people that want to know about that.
Well, I mean, this document. I mean, like I said it on Queen's Flip show, man. When they asked me, it was just like, this is not a story that happened yesterday. This is a story that has 20 years of footage, of audio, of of social media, YouTube flicks. So you've seen it. You've seen when when Liza was complaining on the radio, and then Joe got in an argument with her, High 97. You know, and it was just out there like that, and it was ugly, but it was out there. So you seen the process of Pun, passing away, and as soon as he passes away, you see the arguments start. You seen the actual, when Liza and the kids had to go to the group, the shelter, and it's to get their apartment and stuff like that because they lost their house. You seen all of the struggles that she went through, and she voiced her opinion very, very out there. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, that's my brother. So if I see that, that hurt me on a personal level because it's like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, my nigga made this nigga extra big and give him the power in the business when it came to hip hop because he was so dope. But remember, Joe was the business side to it. So he gained a lot of power when Pun was actually climbing up the charts. Joe was actually making them relationships with them top dogs because they blamed him and they awarded him because he brought Pun into the industry and because Pun sold a lot of records. So he had a lot of business power. So he was using that business power really to, for himself. And yeah, and against us, really. When he did it against Pun, I was already like, well, he did it against Pun's kids, and that's what bothered me more because to me, it was about the kids, and of course, everybody knew who Eliza was, and Eliza was a trooper. She was with Pun from the beginning to the end. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what happened with that situation. Like, as of lately, I think I don't know if she won the case. She was actually in litigations of closing a settlement between Joe and her, but I don't know what happened between that. But yeah, that bothered me a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? I was coming with all that. There was a lot of anger in Cuban Link, you know, when I was coming. So, you know, thank God we never got to a place where, you know, probably we seen each other, because we did see each other, but we seen each other in the crowded places, like, you know what I'm saying, and like the Source Awards and things like that. But we never seen each other where it's like, you know, somewhere where, you know, it could have really banged out on some crazy shit. So maybe thank God for that one.
Yeah. Take us back to the beginning, man. You immigrating from Cuba, coming out here, meeting Big Pun, and how everything kind of got started for you, man. I was always interested in knowing how it started from the beginning. Like my cousin said, we all huge
I've
fans.
heard that story 100 times. I love that story.
When I was 5, I robbed in America.
Shit, man. I mean, I was 5 when I arrived in America. Word, that was real. That's me coming in 1980, man. I mean, the Scarface joint. As far as, like, you know, you seen the movie Scarface in the beginning when Fidel was throwing niggas out of Cuba. It was basically, I came through there in 1980 in the boats, and one of them boats with my mother, my father, and my sister. We landed in Key West. We took the same, just like Scarface. You took that bus when that nigga said sanitation. I told you to tell him sanitarium. That bus that he was in, like those kind of buses. We took that bus from Key West all the way to Miami. From Miami, we went to the concentration camp, just like the movie. Not the concentration camp, the camp that was holding us down, like the tents and shit the armies put up. So we was just like that when he killed Rebenga. And those things, and the riots was real as far as like the way the criminal Cubans, because remember, they'll open up the criminals, all the prisons in Cuba. And he let the criminals slide in with all the regular people. So there was a lot of criminals that was in there wilding out and starting shit. So I came through there, man. Then, you know, my aunt sponsored us. She sponsored us out of there. She was living in Miami at the time. We left with her. Stood there 6 months, but that was the cocaine cowboy era. So the shit was crazy in Miami. So we left there. We went to Puerto Rico for 4 years. My father was building bodegas, and he was, you know what I'm saying, that was a Spanish-speaking country, so we felt kind of comfortable there because I didn't know English. None of us did. And out of nowhere, when I was 9, that's when, I don't know how my pops is out of nowhere. We went from Puerto Rico straight to New York. So we went to the Bronx, and from 9 years old, that's when the Cuban Link really thing started, where, you know, had to learn English, bilingual class, you know, fighting in school, but, you know, still with the, you know, that the immigrant's mind, where it's like, you know, we trying to find the American dream. So of course, you know, school was number one priority for my moms and my dad, for us to do, me and my sister. So, you know, we took that serious. And then, you know, you're in the street and, you know, you get your friends. And then, you know, the big thing at that time, it was the crack era. So remember, it was zombies out there. They smoking crack. So I came in that era also. So, you know, it was just, and there was nothing but black friends around me. They didn't know Spanish. So I was hanging out with black folk. My black friends was like really showing me. When I came home from school from the bilingual shit, I hang out with my man Carl Brown and Kevin from my building and Alvin. And them niggas would be chilling with me. I would bring them to the crib. You know, I had the centipede in my house. I was like, you know, my pops was into shit. So my pops had the real big centipede machine. Remember the centipede shit with the ball?
Hell yeah.
I had like 2 of them. I had Miss Pac-Man and that shit in my house. So they used to come. And I didn't even know English like that. And they would be just chilling with me. That's my dudes, my homies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But it's a beautiful time, man, growing up in the Bronx. And that's when I experienced the actual the music of hip hop, the fashion of hip hop, you know, the graffiti, and everything that comes with the hood, man. So it was a beautiful side of the hood. You know, so even though I didn't know English, that's why I grew up. I really grew up there and soaked everything in. And then, you know, 14, 15, or really 13 years old and on. That's when I started like dabbling with like lyrics and stuff like that, Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? As far as like writing their lyrics, reciting them in front of the class. So that just took over me as far as like hip hop, and it's always been a hobby. Then I met, of course, I met the legendary Big Pun, which his name is Christopher Lee Rios.
Mhm.
And it was nothing about music. It was just about being just hanging out, man. Hanging out with an individual that just had the same energy as me, man. He was already married with Amanda, his daughter. So him and Liza was already married. They only had Amanda yet. I mean, just Amanda, Liza, and him. And they, he was like the dude that was 18 years old. He had his own house. I was still living with moms and all of that. And everybody that was, that was around me, they were living with mom. So he was the only like big brother with his own place. So I used to cut school, go to his house. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes bring some chicks up there. Bring some 40 ounces. Do it with the adult shit that I couldn't do in my crib.
Mhm.
So that relationship started like that. So and then boxing, like me and him went to the boxing to Fort Apache down in 167 and Southern Boulevard over there by Intervale. So it was just that energy that me and him had, and then we started like saying I used to bring him to the block, and we used to run ciphers in my block in the corner in Lilville's, and that's where it really started, like us getting together there, he coming around. But that's when I was hanging out with him already like 2 years before I even knew he could even spit. So then when